Hello, I'm Alan McCray, and this is my wife, Sharon. We have been married 54 years and counting. And we are delighted to be with you today. We're going to talk about some of the challenges of marriage, but I wanted you just to meet her and have her opportunity to share something about being married. How you feel about this?
Well, I think it's non-negotiable now.
What would you, if you were to give the listeners one tip about how to have a good marriage, what would you say to them?
Love each other no matter what.
So, what does that mean, no matter what?
What trials you're going through, what devastation you might experience. I know that I was devastated when I didn't know that my husband knew where to put his socks when he pulled them off at night.
Okay.
We made games out of our controversy.
And we still do.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, as long as you can laugh about it, you can work through it, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, we've had 54 great years. I actually married 54 years. Dated 3 years before we got married, and we had to grow up,
We had
didn't
to
we?
grow up first.
And so, now, my wife and I have been married for a long time. We've been married 54 years. But today's challenges are different than what they were even when we got married. There needs to be a paradigm shift because for many people, marriage has become just full of conflicts. Many people are just staying in a marriage for the children's sake, or they're staying in a marriage because it's convenient and they're not really enjoying their marriage. Historically, marriage is pretty much based on dependency. And today, we are pretty independent people. Women in the workforce, oftentimes women make as much money or sometimes more money than their husbands. So it's not a dependent relationship. And if that's the kind of relationship you're in, you either have problems or you're going to be headed for problems, because that kind of relationship gets exhausting after a period of time. We need a new paradigm. An interdependent relationship is what a healthy relationship looks like. It's not that we need each other, we want each other. It's not that we are responsible for each other, we are responsible to each other. Now, those are big differences in the way that a marriage is lived out. So, some of the challenges is moving to a different paradigm. In our process of going from a good marriage to a great marriage or to a radical marriage is understanding the different paradigm shifts that have to take place. We have a great process for that the people that have gone through it have experienced a whole new level in their relationship. Now, if your relationship is good, it's probably boring. Let's face it, good is boring. If you want to make it radical, you have to get out of just the good mode and get into the radical mode. We have a process to help you do that. We want to see marriages thrive. We want to see them go to a whole new level, because there's really no other relationship for personal growth that can help you reach a place of development than a healthy marriage. A couple of things that are extremely important to a relationship. In fact, most people, if you ask them what is the key to a good relationship, they would tell you communication. And communication is an essential tool. You have to have good communication. So one of the things that we teach is what I call safe communication. How to build a a bubble, if you will, a place to go into to have good, safe communication until that just becomes your lifestyle. And then no longer is it in a bubble, it's just how you have learned to communicate. And the other, probably the most important component of a healthy marriage today is each partner learning to take personal responsibility for their own emotional state. Now that is huge. When you can take responsibility for your own emotional state, then you can change your emotional state. If you're blaming your partner for your emotional state, or you're taking responsibility for your partner's emotional state, then you have huge conflicts and it is exhausting. We have ways of teaching you how to do that that's extremely powerful. Then we also introduce what we call a relationship journal, a very effective tool in building intimacy. Here's one of the things that's extremely important. People generally think that intimacy comes out of their agreements. Intimacy is built out of your conflicts. And if you are avoiding conflicts, you're not building intimacy. If you don't know how to work through a conflict, you're not developing intimacy. So we teach you how to work through conflicts to gain intimacy. So intimacy, again, doesn't come out of your agreements. It's actually produced out of your conflicts.
Time